Okay, how's it going? It's been a while, so sorry about that. I just have not had a lot to talk about, to be honest, but let me know if you have any ideas for me. I just don't want to get too repetitive on this channel and just upload stuff that's completely useless. But on that note, I've got a new song out called Not My Problem, and this is the FLP file for it, and I thought I'd just kind of go through how I made the song. Take this with a grain of salt, I'm still just do this for fun. I'm not like a professional, but maybe there's something in here you can learn, or maybe I can learn from someone in the comments, like things I can do better. So yeah, it's out now on Spotify and on my other channel, Going Gray. This is not a super long song. It's only about, like 2:15. And I don't really like short songs generally. They feel kind of like TikTok music to me. But if you've heard the song, it's kind of repetitive. Like I'll just play this part right here. Kind of repeats that a lot. And I didn't want the song to get too repetitive. So kind of just kept it short and sweet. Anyways, let's get into how I made it. Now, drums up here. This is kind of the intro part right here. Starts with this static and the drums filtering, cutting out the low end. All the drums are just samples. Got this shaker right here and doing some background stuff. This melody. Now all the drums are down here, and I'm doing some parallel compression right here. So all the drums are being routed to this drum bus right here, and then added into this one. So they're sent, like this channel's being sent to the parallel compression bus right here. I'm using TDR Cult Livnov. I think I used to use the 1176 by Universal Audio for this, but I think this just gives a little bit more control. And what I've been doing recently with parallel compression, very fast attack and a relatively fast release, I think really squashes those transients, which gives you more headroom, right? Because the limiting factor with drums is that transient first part that hits. That's what's going to limit your headroom, because it's that spike in the waveform, which equals more dB over here. But if you squash that, then you can turn everything up, give your drums some more punch, and then blend it into taste. So this is like a very overcompressed signal. Getting a good amount right here, and even more. And then yeah, just blended that into taste. Also got all of these separately going to this drum reverb. I really like this plugin, Room 404. I've talked about it before. If you turn down the dry signal all the way and then leave some wet here, you can send drums to the drum verb right here, and it kind of makes them sound more coherent and like they're in the same room, which I think is really cool. So that's kind of all there is here. There's some samples and shit. For the drop, let's get into that. It's nothing too crazy. So we got the drums, we've got this perk loop, and then for the main part right here, this is a consolidated pattern of, let me see if I can pull it up, of this over here. So I made this melody with a like a lo-fi guitar plugin. Then I consolidated that just so I can have more control over it, and it also saves CPU. But later in the song right here, I'll like chop up this consolidated pattern a lot. But then the main thing of the song is this like pitch bending effect. That's just a kilohertz pitch shifter automated. On here, I've just got some, EQ, get the lows out if it wants to open. Why is it not opening? There we go. I've been using ZL equalizer a lot. I did make a video on it earlier. Really liking it, actually. It's Pro Q3, but it's free, so check that shit out. So yeah, got the lows out, did a little bit of boosting here, and then OTT, just give it some more character, I suppose. And then everything on here pretty much has saturation, just to give it as much kind of rich dynamics as possible. Add some harmonics in. I chose to use Soft Tube Saturation knob for that. The bass is a free plugin called Modo Bass 2, I guess. Modo Bass 2, and it's just this pattern. So yeah, nothing too crazy there, just some bass pattern to kind of go with the wavy chords. And then vocals are they're just samples. On the second part where you hear like extra harmonies, I have a separate one right here. And there's this plugin called Harmony Engine on. It's not free, unfortunately. It comes with like the Antares suite that I paid for. But yeah, that's what the harmony part is. We also got this background melody right here. This is just Vital synth. And of course, it's only playing the reverb. But yeah, you get the idea. And then kind of switches up over here. For this part, I took this consolidated pattern and chopped it up to make like a different melody. You know, then you kind of add that with the drum variation. This bell is just for some accenting. And another pattern, which is similar to the original one, but this is a little bit more just kind of for the atmosphere. So yeah, that's going there. And then all of that, pretty much all of the instruments in this song that are being sidechained, you know, up here's the sidechain, kick hits when the bass hits. But I have a lot of stuff sidechained in this. It's going here, and I actually have a compressor on here to glue everything together a little bit. So the bass, the chords, and not this bell, but this melody right here are all going to here. They're being sidechained, but I'm also doing about a little less than 2 dB of compression, sorry, just to kind of glue everything together, it's a little bit more coherent. It's like bus compression. I'm still kind of experimenting with this, but on this one, I've got a slower attack and a slightly faster release. You got to be careful because you don't want too much like up and down, pumping. That's what it's called. With bus compression, but I think I dialed it in pretty good. And yeah, again, this just kind of, I also have one on the master, but this is just to kind of glue everything together a little bit better. Yeah. Down here also, we just have some like crashes and risers. For this part, still got the bell going. This is kind of the breakdown of the song, and then we go into the part before the second drop. More automation to the lows, just fading that out and then sweeping it back in. And then the last drop, honestly, pretty much the same. Only difference is in the second part, we've just got some faint background. That's what that sounds like. And then basically everything in this song is also being sent to some reverb sends. I'll show you those. I've got 2, and also I've got a delay send. There's this one, which is this Pure Plate plugin. I got it from Universal Audio for free. They just had it for free for a week. Love that plugin. And then I also have a one for the vocals down here. This is ROM, and I did the space setting. Cosmic, that's what it's called. Just to kind of, it's like this is like a plate reverb, so that sounded cool. And then yeah, it fades out over here. And yeah, honestly, it's a pretty simple song overall. I'm fairly happy with how it came out. I decided to keep it kind of lo-fi, so if I like pull up one of the drops here, I'll show you on here. Oh, on the master, I've got span. You can see over here, there's not as much high-end information as you'd expect. That was a deliberate choice. I just decided to keep this a little bit more lo-fi. But yeah, I want to do this with every release I have, but I'm kind of bad at explaining my songs. But yeah, hopefully you learned something in this. Of course, I also did mastering. You know, I got Fresh Air. I've got a saturation plugin. I actually do want to talk about this for a second. I was wrong about this plugin. I said in the video I talked about it, if you don't put any drive, you won't get any extra harmonics added. That's how saturation works. It adds extra harmonics. It'll just make it louder. It's actually wrong. It actually does change the tone if you just pop it on. It's just in such a subtle way that like the EQ example I was showing didn't really show it. So that's on me. Only thing I did here was I actually made the response a little bit more towards the highs because I noticed if I put it neutral, it actually affected the drums too much. And I actually did that on the compressor too. I moved this a little bit over so that it wasn't focusing on the drums too much because it made that kick really muddy. So I got rid of the lows on that. Like I made it not focus on the lows basically. This feature on Live Now, it's called Low Frequency Relax. It's good to make sure your kick doesn't like just explode the lows. Yeah, that's basically all there is to talk about. You know, I did my limiter, of course, Fresh Air. And then yeah, just some very subtle EQing on the master. So yeah, that's how the song came out. Let me know what you think of it. It's on Spotify now if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching. I might start uploading on this channel again. We'll see. Take it easy.